It all started at a friend's birthday party. We were hanging out in the back drinking beers. You know, the ladies were in the house doing their whole thing, and this was after the cake and all that. Where a friend of my buddies came up and started talking with us. I'd never seen this guy before. Tall, lanky, I guess handsome. And we just started chit-chatting. I remember thinking the only thing weird about this guy is, one, he's very, I don't want to say pompous in the way he speaks, but he's very articulate, at least tries to be. And for some reason he kept his glasses on. They must be some sort of progressive lenses, because they seem kind of dark. Aside from that, he seemed like an okay guy. Didn't really care for the beer much. He only drank some sort of whiskey straight out of a tumbler. Kind of weird, but hey, to each their own on that. I didn't think two things about it until there was a knock on my door first thing in the morning. I'd only been asleep about 4 or 5 hours, so immediately I jumped awake. Unfortunately, my PTSD was kicking in, so the first thing I did was grab my pistol and head to the door. I was like, what the hell? Who the hell's knocking at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? Well, I look out the door, sure as anything, he's right there, kind of looking back at me, waving with one hand. In the other hand, he's got the hand of a young girl. It's like, okay, this is weird. So I put the pistol away and opened the door. It's like, can I help you? Yes. Jay, is it not? Yeah. Can I help you with something? Well, Jay, as you remember, we were talking the other day, and I mentioned that I had some work to do in this area. Well, you see, my daughter is here, and I do not desire her to be part of this business. It will not be entertaining for her at all. So I was wondering if you could watch over her for a day or so. I thought for a moment, well, I don't have any kids in the house, and I don't have any, kid stuff around, really. When I mentioned this, he said, oh, that is all right. She is very well behaved, and she will not be in your way at all. Well, that wasn't really my concern about her being in the way. I just wanted to make sure I could entertain what looked like a 5 or 6 year old. I looked down and I was like, are you sure about this? I mean, you don't really know me from Adam, really, which seemed to make him laugh, but he was like, it's all right. I am an excellent judge of character, and I know you will not harm her. In fact, you will be good to protect her. I was like, I guess, yeah, sure. I mean, as I said this, he said, but don't worry, I will thoroughly compensate you for your assistance in this matter. I am very good at repaying all debts that I owe. Taking a deep breath. All right. Yeah, I guess I can do that. How long? Oh, I should be back either tomorrow night or the next morning. Thinking to myself, well, yeah, I do have that much time off, so I could do this. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Well, excellent. And then he simply just let her hand go, turned, and walked away. She was just kind of left there, dumbstruck. It's like, okay, this is weird. So I got down on one knee, looked her in the face, and said, hi, my name's Jay. And I stuck my hand out and shake hers. She was so shy. She didn't even want to look me in the eyes. She kept looking away. And then she put her hand over her eyes for a second, almost as though she's not quite wiping anything from her eyes, but just kind of covering them. And then she turns and she reaches and takes my hand. Doesn't say anything, just takes my hand. It's like, all right, well, you want some breakfast? She then raised her head and just shook it up and down. Yes, she wanted some. So we went inside and I made us both some eggs and we sat down and I tried to talk to her, but she didn't seem interested in talking. Finally, at the end of breakfast, I said, well, I need to be able to call you something. So, what's your name again? Again, she was very hesitant And then she just kind of looked me in the eyes, and I'm like, I can't read your mind. You need to speak. And very softly she said, most people don't like it when I talk. I Daddy says it makes people uncomfortable. Well, you're with me, so don't worry about it. Oh, okay. So, what is your name? Daddy calls me Crystal. All right, Crystal. So, let's see. I'm going to get ready for the rest of the day. I got to go get changed and everything. So, how about this? I'll see what I can do about putting some cartoons or something on. Cartoons? You don't know what cartoons are? No? Okay, sure. Well, here. And I led her over and sat her on the couch, and I put on the cartoon shows. I didn't even know it was on. I've been so lost in the sauce on that one that I wouldn't even know what the hell to call them. I cleaned up the dishes real quick, put them in the dishwasher, and went over and got changed, did my morning regiment. And when I came out, she was just fixated. I looked over as some sort of weird cartoon education show about animals. As she's sitting there watching, I said, so, since you're going to be here a couple of days, did your daddy have any extra clothes for you? She didn't even look my way. She was so fixated, so I had to actually wave my hand in front of her. Hello, over here, asked you a question. She almost looked scared for a moment, like I was going to reach out and smack her or something. Whoa, take a breath, take a breath. Do you have any other clothes? No. Alright, well, in that case, reaching up, grab the remote control, shut the TV off. We need to go shopping. She kind of looked at me weird, as though she had no idea what the hell shopping was. Although, when we got to the store, and she had a death grip on my hand the whole way, she saw all the colors and different outfits in the girls' section, and she was just amazed. Wide-eyed, I'm like, I just kind of looked at her and said, please blink, you're creeping me out. Unfortunately, I was flying blind, and thankfully a sales associate came over and, so, are you looking for something particular for your daughter? Well, just babysitting today, and, yeah, this was kind of a last-minute thing, and she doesn't have any extra clothes, so I'd say 2 outfits, definitely pants, and we're going to need shoes. And while I said this, Crystal looked down at herself and then looked at me, confused. But I'm already wearing clothes. And at this, I was like, what the hell? Thankfully, the sales associate was calm and collected, helped me out. Took at least 2 or 3 hours to go through everything. Pants, tops, even an extra skirt. 2 full outfits plus shoes and socks. And Crystal was smiling so much when I told her that these are her clothes. They're mine? Yes, these are yours. And she held onto that bag, gripped it really tight. She didn't want to even let it go when we went to the checkout line so that I could actually pay for it. And she was almost in tears when I said, you have to give them up just for a second. And then I handed her the bag back afterwards, and she was again all smiles. She was actually still wearing the white dress as we left. She had that bag. She wouldn't let me carry it. She just had it in one hand, and she just had my hand with her other hand. And again, I'm like, what is he feeding this girl? I'm losing feeling in my fingertips. Well, we went to lunch, and she insisted that the burger be either rare or medium rare. I was like, well, I know they're not going to give a child a rare burger, so I ordered medium rare for myself, and while the waitress wasn't looking, I swapped plates. She seemed to enjoy it a lot. I had to tell her to slow down. Afterwards, we went to the playground, and of course, she did what most little girls do. She played around on the play sets, and I helped push her on the swings. And in between that, I did some pull-ups and push-ups, because I didn't have time to go to the gym that day, so I had to do something. And got a lot of looks from the mothers who were there. I don't have to read minds to know what was going through theirs. When we got back for supper, she was thoroughly exhausted. I thought she was going to pass out just sitting there, but for some reason she watched me cook with just this intense look. I was like, good God, have you never seen anyone prepare food before? She passed out in front of the TV later. I ended up carrying her to my bed and left her there. I ended up crashing out on the couch, but I woke up to her screaming, where are you? Where are you? Oh, where are you? Daddy, where are you? Jake, where are you? I ran as fast as I could to the room, and I busted in through the door, and she's in tears, just freaking out. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? I went over to the bed. She just jumped at me and grabbed a hold of me, and just squeezed so tight. I was like, oh, good God, what is she trying to do? Choke me out? For a second, I thought I was going to feel my ribs crack. I was like, what the hell is with her? And for a moment, I thought I felt something weird on her back. I was like, what the fuck? And she said, oh, I thought you had left me. I said, no, I'm not leaving you. I just let you have the bedroom. It took a couple of minutes for her to calm down, but thankfully, after a little bit of tears, I was able to get her downstairs. We had breakfast, played board games in the morning, lunch, and then took her back to the park. This time she actually hung around with the other kids, which surprised the hell out of me. Although, when a young boy saw that she was getting all the attention, he picked up a stone and I saw he was getting ready to chuck it. I immediately walked over as he was cocking back, grabbed his hand, and went, I don't think so. His mom came over, started screaming, don't you hurt my baby! If he throws that stone, your baby's going to be losing a hand and an arm, and it might just take one of everything he has two of. At that, he actually shuddered because he knew what I was talking about. She kept screaming at me, and of course the other moms came over, saw the whole thing, and told her to shut the hell up, thankfully. I wasn't expecting that. But the park time was cut a little short due to this. We got back, and of course supper, and I put on a couple of, I don't want to say kids movies, because I hate Disney. I hate Disney with a passion. But I did put on something a little tamer than what I'm used to watching. I mean, I don't think you want to have a 5-year-old watch John Wick or, one of the current Rambo movies or anything like that. And of course she fell asleep, curled up in one of the blankets that I had in that sectional couch. This time, I was on the other end of the couch and I just passed out where I was. I'm thinking, what a nice kid. I wish if I had kids, I had one just like her. The next morning, on the front door, I was like, oh, God, what time is it? Looking at my watch, it's freaking 5:20 in the morning. I mean, usually I'm up this early anyway to go get my run in, but all my exercise went to the side while I was watching the young one. I went to the door. This time I didn't even check it. I just opened it, and there he was, standing there again, pretty much in the same clothes, those same dark glasses, but this time he had a canine next to him. And that dog was just staring at me. It wasn't growling. It wasn't shaking his tail. It was just staring. I was like, oh, hey, you're here. Cool. Everything go well? Oh, everything went very well. Actually, I got done sooner than I expected. I wasn't expecting to be done until this afternoon. And, how was my little girl? She's still asleep on the couch, actually. So, breakfast? Or just coffee? Oh, breakfast would be wonderful if you don't mind. It's no trouble at all. I was going to make myself some anyway. And, but as far as the canine's concerned, and I looked down at the dog, do I need to worry about him or her, can't tell from here, chewing the place up? Oh no, he's just as well behaved as my daughter. More so, in fact. And I said, well, that's difficult to believe, but why not? I motioned them to both come in, but the dog wouldn't move until his owner actually motioned for it to come in. They both came in, and I didn't have anything really for the dog, except for, jar of cute venison. Oh, that would be just perfect, he said. Although, do you have any raw venison by any chance? Unfortunately, nothing that's thawed. So, unless he wants to chew through basically a meat icicle, this is what I got. Oh, then that would be just fine. Well, I gave the dog some of the venison, which for a moment he didn't want to even touch, and after one bite, scarfed the whole thing down. I made my guest some eggs, and of course myself some, and we both looked over at the young girl still passed out on the couch. As we ate, he said, "So, you've done a great service to me, and I would like to compensate you as best as possible. However, I am unclear of what you desire." What? What you desire? I have no problem granting what you desire, since you have aided me in this endeavor. Um, well, I'm fine on cash. You know what? I don't even really know how to answer that. That's kind of an out of the blue type question. Oh, that is true. I did not give you time to think. How about this? I will come again in a month's time. I am not due back until then. And at that point, you can tell me what you desire. And it can be anything. I chuckled a little bit. Yeah, absolutely anything. That'd be one heck of a thing, wouldn't it? At that point, I just suddenly realized the dog started growling a little bit. I was like, what's with the dog? Oh, he thought you were insulting me. Apparently, you haven't been fully informed. That is when he finally removed his hat, which I wasn't going to say anything, being that he was a guest in the house, but usually you remove it at the table. Underneath was just a normal head until two horns slowly came out. I jumped to my feet and put my back against the wall. Holy shit! I was like, oh, yes, that is the normal reaction that I get. I wondered why you hadn't freaked out until now. Oh yes I am. And I am currently in your debt, sir, and I do not like being in people's debt. I always cover my deals. So, when you said absolutely anything, you weren't kidding. Oh no, I was not kidding. I would never jest with you over something so serious. I thought for a moment, I was like, what, I really don't know what to say. That's when Crystal woke up. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy! She ran over, grabbed onto his leg. Oh, child. And he gave her a small hug with one arm. Did you enjoy your time here? Oh, I loved it so much. And she started rambling off on all the things we did. And when she mentioned that I bought her some clothes, oh, you did not have to do that. She was fine with the clothing she was wearing. And I kind of looked at you do realize a single guy walking around with a girl in just a white dress with no undergarments is going to get me arrested. He definitely laughed at that one. At this point, my blood pressure was still through the roof and my heart was still beating 20 miles an hour. 20 miles past the speed of light, that is. So again, Jay, whatever you desire, since you aided me so thoroughly with this endeavor, I have no problem compensating you. Could you, give me some time to think on this one? Oh yes, like I said, I will be back in a month's time, and you can give me your bill then. I started to calm down a little bit. It's like, okay, another cup of coffee? Because I could probably use one myself. Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. And he simply held up his cup. That's when I realized that his hands had actually started to morph into claws as well. I very shakily took the cup, and I went and filled them both back up. I said, you still take yours black? Oh, very much. He seemed to laugh at that one. After that cup of coffee, he got up and took his daughter and his dog, which had actually sprouted two other heads while we were talking, which again made me almost piss myself. And he very politely excused himself. And on the way out, I said, whoa, 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 hold on. You forgot something. Oh, what did we forget? The young lady's belongings. And I went and grabbed the bags, brought it over, and she reached, grabbed them again, held them tight, as though she never had anything before. With that big grin on his face, Devil himself looked down and looked up at me and just gave me the toothiest grin I've ever seen. I didn't know whether to be flattered or freak the hell out. We shall meet each other again in a month. Until then, good day. Well, bye, both of you. See you then. Well, that was all about 2 weeks ago. I came back from work today, and I hadn't even barely started making dinner when I heard at my front door. I thought, what the hell? I'm not late on rent. What is this? One of them folks trying to sell stuff door to door again? I went and opened the door, my hand on my knife, and sure enough, there he was again. But this time, it wasn't a little girl next to him. It was a teenage girl. Oh, I'm sorry to impose on you, but I have some other business I attend to, and one of my daughters is being a little rambunctious. I can't leave her alone. Would you mind watching over this one? I looked at her, I'd say 14 years old, again in a white dress and slip. What is with the white dress and slippers? I could, but that depends. How long? Because I need to know how long to call out of work. Oh, it shouldn't be more than 24 hours. Maybe 48 if things tend to drag. Thought for a moment, well, I can use a sick day. It's not a big deal. So, this is your other daughter? Yes, this is my daughter, Desiree. I had to come retrieve her, and unfortunately I can't bring her back home just yet. It's a long story. I held up one hand slightly and said, don't worry. I know you're probably busy with the kind of work you do. Tell you what, yeah, I'll watch over. Excellent. Now, turning to her, you be on your best behavior, or I will be very upset with you again. And you don't want to see me upset with you again. His eyes glowed red even through those glasses. I could honestly feel pressure pushing against me, almost pushing me back. Whatever he was doing scared the living crap out of me. I'm amazed I held my bladder. She looked at him and just fear in her eyes. Yes, Daddy. I'll be good. I swear I'll be good. Then the pressure subsided. Well, I'm about to make dinner. Are you staying? Oh, no, I must leave now. All right. Then, come on in, Desiree.